was the one way or the other, whether the allegation was true or not? Was it been ascertained or not?
It was never inquired into, it was never ascertained. And if that part of the order would not carry,
how do we go forward then on this?
may I very respectfully submit?
Because, both can't be telling the truth.
No, quite right. May I very humbly submit, my lord? The order itself may have two components, although they are mixed up. As far as I'm concerned, they are mixed up in the sense, one is with respect to the public speech that was made. Whether the public speech that was made.
That's a separate aspect.
This is what I'm saying.
That may in itself be such a grave crime that you remove him.
No, I'm making a
Or nothing implied in the order is the fact that you've leveled such serious allegations against some people
which cannot be sustained because no inquiry was held. That portion.
What is the solution here?
May I very respect, this is what I was saying, Madam. May I very respectfully submit, the order itself is composed of these two components. One is that a public speech was made. The other is that there was an allegation made or there were some assertions made which were not inquired into, and that was also held against the petitioner. Now that portion cannot be held against the petitioner so far as the STC order is concerned because that was never inquired into. We are only then left, as far as this list is concerned, only left with the question whether the public speech that was made was
नहीं देखिए उसका बड़े implication होगा. I think let's live in the real world. The entire eyes of the nation are before us. There are 2-3 constitutional offices involved. One is at stake is the independence of the judiciary. If I'm sure you will also agree that no judge should be removed without cause. I'm sure you will say that.
Yes, quite right. That's true.
That's one aspect. The other aspect is there's another constitutional body involved called the Supreme Judicial Council. Now, the Supreme Court should not interfere in the work of another constitutional body unless there is something so manifestly unconstitutional or unjust. What Mr. Hamid Khan Sahab is saying is there was no inquiry held, and you are conceding it, and the Attorney General is also conceding it. Needless to say, if the statement made was false, he also concedes that the judge should have been removed. Now, the third issue is the Supreme Court itself. We are hearing this case. Now the question arises, what sort of order we can pass in such circumstances? And I think there's an interconnected, where is the Attorney General? Attorney General, where is he?
कलर मैं ऑफिस से चेक करवा लेता हूँ ऑफिस में
बुला लें अगर उनको.
खान साहब जरा ये ओपिनियन तो पढ़िए पेज 70 पे. ओपिनियन ऑफ द सुप्रीम जुडिशियल काउंसिल. यस, पेज 70 पे.
70 पे. Yes. Conclusion, sir. This council is unanimously of the opinion, kindly see here, that in the matter of making his speech before the District Bar Association Rawalpindi on 21/7/2018, Mr. Justice Shaukat Aziz Siddiqui, Judge Islamabad High Court Islamabad, had displayed conduct unbecoming of a judge of a High Court and was thus guilty of misconduct, and he is therefore liable to be removed from the office under Article 2096 of the Constitution of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. 2096, which says you inquire into the matter, which was never done. The other portion of this, your Lordship may find very relevant, is on page 49-50, where they decided to dispense with the inquiry.
इसमें सवाल इसमें ये पैदा होता है, ये सवाल है कि सपोज एलिगेशन दुरुस्त है, सपोज क्या ये जिस तरीके से एलिगेशन बयान की गई हैं, जिस तरीके से तकरीर, क्या ये एक जज के लिए मुनासिब था? ये तो ओपिनियन उनकी ये थी कि चूंकि ये कर नहीं सकते थे.
सर इसमें हुआ ये, there was only one hearing in camera done, nothing else was ever.
ये तो डिनाइल नहीं आपकी तरफ से कि तकरीर हुई थी.
जी
तकरीर हुई थी, ये डिनाइल तो नहीं है.
नहीं
वो ये
तकरीर का डिनाइल नहीं
सर, तकरीर का डिनाइल नहीं.
But देखिए, there are two kinds of speeches, na? I mean, is a judge not allowed to make a speech?
Yes.
I think we should not forget the facts. The fact is not making of the speech. If it's making of the speech, then probably half the superior judiciary will have to go home, because how many judges have made to the Bar Council's speeches? I mean, these are not two. So
That speech was made before a bar is
no.
received.
So it's not a question of mere making of a speech. It's the content of the speech. I think both go together. Now it depends what I say. If I say there should be, I go and tomorrow I make speeches, independence of the judiciary, this, that, the other, fine. I may even canvass a view which is different. But if I make allegation against someone, so I think you can't disconnect the two things. It's the nature of the allegation. Because I would say if otherwise, then we will have to read that Article 19 is not available to judges.
That's what
I mean, okay, you may not agree with the judge's point of view, fine. I mean, but you remove him on that ground. The code of conduct doesn't say you can't make a speech. So on it, I don't think there's anything wrong per se in making a speech. Now, if you make some speech and you attack, launch a vicious attack or loaded attack or whatever you want to call it, that we cannot disconnect with it. We have to read it, see it together. I mean, I can't just say, oh, making of a speech. I mean, making of a speech is your right. Anybody's right.
And addressing
I mean, it's not exact.
District Bar Association.
By the way, you may be interested to know the United Kingdom, which is so conservative, judges give interviews. I mean, so House of Lords. I mean, those restraints have far gone, and judges of the American Supreme Court, as judges of the Supreme Court, Justice Stephen Breyer and Justice Scalia's debates,
all make public.
Debates were pretty vicious on various law schools they were given. So let's connect it with the speech. Now, nobody's taking us to the next level. What do we do? Can we personally ourselves inquire into the matter?
Sir, one thing I want to point out. There were a number of speeches made by Justice Kiani which was published.
I agree with you on that.
Very clearly.
No, I agree with you. It will be. I think it is connected with the content.
Yes.
भाई अगर आपने बिला वजह ऐसे इल्जाम लगा दिए to another I don't want to use the word institution, but it's important.
Yes.
Whatever department of the government आप कह लें, जो भी आप कहना चाहें. So naturally, it is not a nice matter. But if they are true, it changes, I think, the complexion of the matter.
Sir, page 70 अगर देख लीजिएगा, this is
solution हमें आपको ही नहीं बता रहे.
नहीं सर, solution तो ये है कि इस वक्त ये जो order है president का based upon the report of the Supreme Judicial Council need to be quashed.
देखें, Hamid Khan Sahib, it's not so simple. Then we'll be faced with an allegation that the Supreme Court threw Khwaja Saab's clients under the bus and saved one of their own. Again, we have to be very fair to both sides because you made allegation targeting specific persons. So if we quash it, that effectively means that all that you said was true without an inquiry, one way or the other. Now, how can we, what do we do then?
So then the answer can be, I'm just making a humble submission, that let this order of the president be quashed, let the report be also quashed, and let the matter be remanded back to the Supreme Judicial Council to hold an inquiry.
Can this order be passed?
I believe so.
हमें असिस्ट करें
लेकिन अगर सुप्रीम जुडिशियल काउंसिल बगैर इंक्वायरी के रिकमेंड कर देती है रिमूवल ऑफ
okay, are you saying it's inherent in fundamental rights and due process?
Yes.
Power of remand, can you remand the matter to the Supreme Judicial Council?
And that can be consequential on the requestment of the order. It can be
Khwaja Sahab, आप क्या कहते हैं इस
there are
point पे?
two ways.
नहीं, let's see. Khwaja Sahab is a senior counsel. Let's see what his view is. Can we remand the matter to the Supreme Judicial Council or we can't?
My Lord, may I very humbly make a submission? It cannot be done because now there is nothing for the Supreme Judicial Council to inquire into, because the petitioner's tenure has already expired. He's no longer, it goes back, he would no longer be a judge to be considered for purposes of removal, which is the function of the Supreme Judicial Council. So it does not fall within the functions of the Supreme Judicial Council at this stage. This is what my very humble submission.
So what is the solution? None?
This matter requires determination or
No,
not?
let's suppose we, for sake of argument, don't take it amiss, that we set aside the order.
Your Lordship.
That means that that's implied in the order that all that he said, the judge, when he was a judge, was true. So you are condemned. Won't you be condemned?
It doesn't imply that, my Lord.
Why?
May I very
Then
humbly-
you say everything I said was true, therefore the order was set aside?
Yes. What he said, my Lord, so far as the allegations against specific persons are concerned, they came up for the first time before the Supreme Judicial Council.
No, he's been saying it from day one.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. The specific allegations against persons, by naming them and naming the incidents also, they never figured in the speech, they never figured in the preliminary reply that was given to the Supreme Judicial Council. It was in the second reply, the additional reply that...
No, but one way or the other, why didn't the Supreme Judicial Council say something on it? They could have asked him, say it on oath.
Yes. What did the Supreme...
I don't know, I called you to cross-examine him, I don't know, whatever way.
I'll make a submission. What the Supreme Judicial Council did was, they asked for the then Chief Justice of Islamabad High Court for his reply on the allegations that were made by the petitioner vis-a-vis him. And he denied all those allegations.
But it's one denial,
I'm just making
one assertion.
Yeah. No, but more importantly, may I make a submission? I'd said that before also, and I'm trying to be as balanced.
See, you can't just
I'm
say
not taking
because he's
sides.
Chief Justice, I believe him, and because he's a simple judge, I disbelieve him. That's no...
Now we come back to the speech itself. The sole ground on which the matter against the petitioner could have been sustained, this order can be sustained, is if this honorable court comes to the conclusion that that speech per se was sufficient for his removal because it came within the definition of misconduct.
Are you suggesting a judge cannot give a speech to a bar counsel?
No. What I'm making a submission, may I make a mistake? Irrespective of whether it was true or not what the petitioner said, irrespective of that, because it maligned the judiciary as a whole.
How does it malign the judiciary?
Let's go through the speech itself, if your lordship would.
No,
and it maligned the Army Institute, the armed forces.
He is maligning you.
No, not in the speech. In the speech, it is the armed forces, it is the judiciary. They are the judges of the Islamabad High Court.
Suppose the allegations are true, then what will happen?
Even then, the petitioner should not have gone public or made a speech before the bar.
Why?
He could have issued a contempt.
No, why are you saying he should not? Unless you can specify some violation of some law, constitutional provision, or a constitute of the code of conduct of judges, you can't just say he should not have. You should refer to something because of this reason.
The code of conduct says something to...
No, refer to that provision which says that judge cannot give a speech to the bar counsel or
it's
whatever.
not a question of giving a speech, it is a question of giving a speech which maligns the judiciary.
Exactly, it's the
public,
contents of the speech.
or which maligns any institution in the country. That is
Okay, now let us...
only that has to be held.
एक सेकंड खान साहब एक सेकंड प्लीज रिफर टू द कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट मुझे निकालने which provision are you relying upon?
But may I very humbly submit, my lord, I am not taking sides in this case.
No, I know.
Because your lordship has called on...
No, actually, देखिए, it's always beneficial to have a senior counsel like yourself.
I'm just...
Because we are just thinking aloud how to proceed.
Yes.
And we'll be next be calling upon the Attorney General as well. So, which possible misconduct provision can you bring him under?
There's one provision in the Code of Conduct, Hamza, which relates to public speech.
Article 2 आप देखिए. Maybe you can read Article 2.
I'll read that and then I'll read Article 2 for your lordship, my lord, but I think there's another provision which talks about, it's number 5. Yes, it's Article 5. May I very humbly submit? If it is to be stressed, it will fall under Article 5, nothing beyond. I will come back to that also. Functioning as he does in full view of the public, a judge gets thereby all the publicity that is good for him. He should not seek more. In particular, he should not engage in any public controversy least of all on a political question, notwithstanding that it involves a question of law.
It's not
It's not,
question.
it's not publicity he was seeking. He was, let's call him a whistleblower. Every whistleblower, you will say is seeking publicity. What publicity he was seeking by this? You are assuming he was seeking. Burden will be on the person seeking his removal to show that he was seeking publicity. It's premised on that. As a judge gets all the publicity, that's good for him. He should not seek more. So then it will be you are seeking publicity. In other words, you can't address bar councils. Yes, there'll be the media there. So what?
May not engage in any public controversy.
No, it says least of all on a it's not the public, it says political question. Where is politics here? There's no politics here.
It states in particular, he should not engage in any public controversy,
So if
least of all on political matters.
Let's take the worst case scenario. If the institution he is in, there is corruption, he should keep quiet.
No, there is.
So what should he do?
He should be writing to the Chief Justice.
Okay, he says
He should
failed.
be writing to the,
Failed.
And if there is somebody,
Then what should he do? He should keep quiet about
if
it.
there is someone approaching him, he has the power. He can issue contempt notice to that person. If anybody dares to
there's
approach him,
corruption, there's
to
no
influence him in any of his decisions.
There's corruption, for instance, not this case, we're giving a simple thing.
What I'm saying,
And
Lord, is that
his colleague is taking a bribe.
Lord.
He writes to the Chief Justice, he informs the Chief Justice, he doesn't do anything.
Lord.
He gets frustrated.
Lord.
Okay? Maybe the frustration level comes to a point that I'll go public now. Okay? So, fine. You can, the person against whom he is alleged and himself, you can certainly hold him to task by saying, prove this allegation. And the other person who's alleged it will say, you made a false allegation, which is exactly what's happened in this case.
But Lord, may I
So which other article can you rely upon?
This is the only article, I suppose, my Lord. There is an article which was invoked in the order itself.
Which one was
And
that?
what I'm saying is-
Kindly read second para of Article 2.
I'm going to read that. Right. Second para, should I?
Second para of Article
In
2.
the matter of taking his seat and of rising from his seat, he shall be punctilious in point of time, mindful of the courtesies, careful to preserve the dignity of the court, while maintaining an equal aspect towards all litigants, as well as lawyers appearing before him.
He should be careful to preserve the dignity of the court.
Yes.
Yes.
This is all. My Lord, I think.
You are saying it comes under this too?
My Lord,
What's your
what I'm
opinion?
saying is that these are the provisions which can be.
No, tell me which one.
My Lord, I said Article 5 and Article 2, subpara 2 also comes within that because, my Lord,
Okay,
from
Father
the-
Sahab, we have an advantage in having you before us.
My Lord, I'm grateful for
ठीक है,
your
so
lordship's
the advantage is you are now well versed with SJC matters.
My Lord.
ठीक है, okay. The other SJC matters where you are proceeding again. One is finishing a complaint, right? You don't have to inquire into great details of every frivolous kind of allegation. You can just dispose it off, consign it to the record or whatever it's called. But where you proceeding against a judge? Why you proceed against a judge? With a view to remove him. So you have to give him some. I mean, here you may be conflicted as a lawyer. I'm not saying conflicted in this case, because your contentions at other place may be different. You will say, establish this thing. Fair enough. The burden on whoever lies the burden will establish it or not establish it. It doesn't get established. Clean bill of health.
My Lord.
देखिए आर्टिकल 2 सब इसके सेकंड पैरा में लिखा है टू प्रिजर्व द डिग्निटी ऑफ द कोर्ट जो एलिगेशन इन्होंने लगाई है वो तो डिग्निटी ऑफ कोर्ट के अगेंस्ट है तो इसको प्रिजर्व कैसे करें ये आपसे पूछे इन्होंने एक तकरीर में कर दी दूसरा तरीका आप बता दें कि कैसे कर सकते हैं
नहीं, उसका तरीका मैंने बताया ना जो एलिगेशंस लगा रहे हैं व्हाट इज My Lord, I am again, let me again reiterate, I'm not taking sides. I'm saying if it can be stretched, that speech and conduct in terms of that speech can be stretched, it could at best fall within these articles, and there's nothing beyond that. Article 5 or at the subpara 2 of Article 2. And this is for this honorable court to decide whether that speech, irrespective of whether it is based on truth or otherwise, comes up to that standard of falls within this mischief or not. That is all. As far as the inquiry part is concerned, that did not take place. So they were, and those specific allegations are not there in the speech. The order itself, when we read page 7, we read the conclusion, it is basically focused on the speech itself, which is said to be the reason why the removal is being recommended. It's not the question of any other issues that were raised there, because they were not inquired into. Yes, to the extent of the Honorable Chief Justice, the reply was sought, and that reply came, and whatever the Honorable Chief Justice said was against what the petitioner was contending.
Did the Chief Justice, was he examined?
No, he gave a letter. So it's all a question. If this is a matter which goes on to inquiry, then yes.
But then it will mean that there must be a standard why you are believing the Chief Justice and disbelieving a judge.
What I'm going to saying is going back to the observation.
Is it the status which?
No, not at all. Not at all. It was just, I am not even supporting that. I am not supporting that because the Honorable Chief Justice said something, therefore believe him and not believe the other. I'm saying if this Honorable Bench comes to the conclusion that in this matter, irrespective of the contents of the inquiry itself, the speech itself, and that it was made publicly addressed to a bar association, which was then, if this is fine, this is all right, this does not amount to misconduct, then the order that this honorable court has to pass, the way to move forward, is to exonerate him of the charges of making a speech which does not come within the ambit of misconduct. It does not imply that whatever he said was true or that it necessarily needs to be
But if you
inquired.
read the order, it is 39 pages of the order.
Yes.
Content is there. If there was no content there, I mean, I would find it very strange that the mayor making of a speech.
I have submitted, my lord, that in the order itself there is a mixture of the presumption that what was being said by him in terms of allegations were not true, without an inquiry. I've already said that is part of the order itself. Okay. What the conclusion would be then that this particular list would come to an end with the petitioner being exonerated of the charges, the order being set aside, the recommendation being quashed, and he gets whatever he gets. But beyond that, if this honorable court wants to go into whatever the petitioner's it has to go out of this list.
Khwaja Sahab, this nation has suffered enough. Now, it's not a question of granting relief to a particular person or withholding a relief from a particular individual. As far as I'm concerned, that's least of my concerns. My concerns are the integrity of the institutions. If the allegation level is true, I mean, the nation wants to know the truth of the matter. This person is telling the truth or that person is telling the truth. You say, no, forget it. Leave it aside. It's not a small matter of a small office holder post. It's a institutional matter. Let me ask you very candidly, as a senior lawyer, would you not want to know the truth of the matter, that the petitioner is telling the truth or your client is telling the truth? Just as you have invested your life in this profession. Yes, would you not want to know the truth of the matter?
This is exactly what I'm saying. I am with your lordship on that.
How will you get to it?
What I'm saying is that not in this list, not in the case before
How
your
do we
lordship,
do it?
that your lordship takes suo motu action or takes some other action, but not it cannot be within the ambit of-
One, इनकी एक तजवीज़ आई है कि send it for review, remand it to the Supreme Judicial Council, that Article 209(7) was not complied with, and 205 and 6 all use the word inquiry, and 7 says you cannot remove it unless you follow the procedure. So that was not done. Without this court determining it, could the Supreme Judicial Council re-examine it and determine it once and for all whether, I think the nation needs to know whether the allegation is true or false. Leave aside your interest and his interest